Hi everybody. Okay, I'm going to show you a 20-minute awesome mani with Coral Bay. So, actually this is the second time I'm recording this video because for some reason the first time it did not work. So I had a complete set and I used the little ones and all that kind of stuff, and I ended up having 10 strips left the first time I did this. I've already nail prepped my nails and used the alcohol swab on them. Now I just need this to come up. Come here. Okay. So I'm going to go through this and just explain how I'm doing it while I'm moving forward. That way you guys can see how to do it and see how you can get this done in 20 minutes or less. Okay. So here's our strips. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start with our pinky. So I'm going to take, if you have a regular size strip, the only ones you cut, you don't do this to, are the itty bitty ones, the smallest ones in the set. You'll cut those just in half. But for all the other ones, you are going to cut them down the middle. Set that one aside. I'm going to take this. I'm going to pull it off with my tab. I'm going to cut it in the middle. Now, the side that I cut, I know is straight. So I always put that side facing my hand, right? And you position this where you want it depending on what you want to show through. Okay? So like if you want more of the pink, move it up a little bit. If you want more of the gold, move it up a little bit. Push it on. Smooth it out. My famous gift wrap, right? Oh, I need my file. Where is my file? Okay, my file is missing. So, just so you guys know, I have this really big box next to me. It has all my color sheets, so I'm just going to use one of my regular files. File it. Pull off the excess. Over here, where you've got a little bit left over, you're just going to take your thumb. You can also use a cuticle stick and push right into your cuticles and pull it off. And I'm going to take this other half. I'm going to pull off my tab. And I'm going to use this other quarter of a strip on the other side. And really the most important thing that you need to do with this is look and make sure that here your two sides are about the same. They look close to being the same. And then I'm just going to gift wrap it. I'm going to file off my excess. I use my thumb to pull my excess off. I'm going to push it back down and make sure it's nice and situated. I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to push this right there into my cuticle and I'll pull my excess off. And that nail is done. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do my next finger. Actually, I'm going to do my next finger. So I'm going to do the same thing. Pull this up. So, cut a quarter of my strip. Set that down and go here. Once again, my straight side is always facing down. I push this on where I want it. I gift wrap it. I file my excess off. My hands are cold, so my strips don't want to stick. And I take my thumb. I pull my excess off. Take my thumb and I cut it. make sure I've got it pushed down really, really good. And then I take the next side, the other quarter, and I pull it off. And I just do the exact same thing. I eyeball to make sure I'm about the same place. And make sure I push my strip on really, really good. What is wrong? I take my thumb, pull my excess off. Take my file. I file it down just like I would on a regular set if I was doing my whole hand. And I pull off my excess. And then I just push it back down. And my second one's done. Now I'm going to do my whole finger. But I'm going to also do my thumb. So let's see, do I still, yeah, I still have a little. So I'm going to pull this off because I'm going to use half for this hand and half for my other hand, okay? So I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to place this like this. I'm going to cut this, and you can make as many solid ones or as many, you could do the whole thing just doing the tips if you wanted to. This is a cool way to do it and have an accent finger or two. And then I just take my thumb and take my excess off. I can set this aside for my other hand. Then I get another strip. I pull my plastic off. I cut it down the middle. Set that one aside. I take this one. I cut a half. Set that down. Grab this one. Push that on. Like I said, just like normal application, I just push it on at an angle, and then I take my thumb, I go into my cuticle so I can pull my excess off. And then I gift wrap it. I file my excess off, come in with my thumb, and this is why we do our thumbs last. So at this point, when I get this finger done, I would switch over to this hand. Man, my hands are really cold. It is really important if you want your color street to stay on, you don't want it to chip or flake off, that your color street as well as your hands are warm. Just so you guys know, if your strips are too cold or your fingers are too cold, you will have them not wanting to stick. So if they seem like they don't want to stick, try taking and warming your hands up. You can even use a heating pad to warm your hands or the strips up. And then they will cut better, they will file better, and they will stick better. So there's that one. And then I'm going to take and do my thumb. And this is, like I said, just to show you guys. So I'd put this on my thumb. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. And if I'm afraid that it might be too big, I'll place it on one side. I'll line it up on one side, so I only have to cut one. You know what I'm saying? I can cut all my excess off in one. So then I take my finger and I push in to my cuticle. I pull that away. And then I'm going to gift wrap my finger, pull my excess off. Down here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to push that right there into my cuticle. And I'm going to pull my extra off. Voila! 11 minutes, and 1 minute was the 11